Beautiful forest, under the gentle morning sun, birds chirped cheerfully. Ben skipped happily along the path, carrying a little basket in his hand and humming a lively tune. Today is such a wonderful day. I'll gather lots of carrots to prepare dinner for Mom. Sweet, crunchy carrots. Mom will love them so much. Ben continued to skip and hop until he stopped in his tracks, his eyes widening in amazement at the sight of a lush carrot garden ahead. Wow, these carrots look so big. They'll make the perfect dinner for Mom, Ben exclaimed with excitement. He eagerly approached the garden, peeking around curiously, then began pulling out one carrot at a time, carefully placing them into his basket. In Mr. Turtle's carrot garden, sunlight streamed through the rows of carrots, making the greenery glow softly. Ben was happily pulling up carrots when suddenly Mr. Turtle appeared, walking slowly and whistling a cheerful tune. Mr. Turtle stopped in his tracks and frowned. Ben, what are you doing here? He asked firmly. Ben jumped in surprise, nearly dropping his basket of carrots. He turned around, looking flustered, and stammered a reply. I I was just looking at how wonderful your carrots are, he said nervously. Mr. Turtle crossed his arms and glanced at the basket filled with freshly pulled carrots. Looking, you say? Then why have you pulled up so many of them? This garden is what I've been carefully tending to all season. Ben lowered his head, his voice becoming soft and apologetic. I'm sorry. I only meant to take a few. I didn't think you would notice, he admitted. Mr. Rock Turtle sighed deeply. Well, tell me this, Ben. How would you feel if I came to your house and started picking carrots from your garden without asking? Ben didn't say anything. He just stood there, staring at the ground. Then, without another word, he picked up his basket of carrots and ran back home, leaving Mr. Turtle behind, shaking his head and letting out another sigh. When Ben got home, he sat by the door, his basket of carrots beside him. He gazed at the sky, his face full of thought. Mother Rabbit came out of the house and, noticing Ben's gloomy expression, sat down next to him. Mother Rabbit gently asked, Ben, why are you sitting here looking so sad? Don't you like the carrots you just picked? Ben looked up, his eyes glistening with tears. Mom, he said softly, these carrots aren't mine. I picked them from Mr. Turtle's garden without asking. And I lied to him about it. Mother Rabbit placed a comforting hand on Ben's shoulder, her gaze kind but firm. Ben, she said, making mistakes isn't the worst thing, but not admitting to them is. If you truly feel sorry, I believe you'll find a way to make it right. Ben hesitated, unsure. But what if I apologize and Mr. Turtle doesn't forgive me? He asked, his voice trembling. Mother Rabbit smiled warmly. A sincere apology can bring about good things. Just be honest with Mr. Turtle, and I'm sure he'll understand. Ben looked up at his mother, his eyes beginning to brighten with determination. He stood up and picked up the basket of carrots. I'm going to see Mr. Turtle right now. I'll apologize and help him replant new carrots, he declared with resolve. Mother Rabbit gently patted Ben's head, her eyes filled with pride. That's my good little bunny. I'm always proud of you, Ben, she said with a loving smile. Then Ben hurried back to Mr. Turtle's garden. The carrot garden was bathed in the soft golden light of the setting sun. Ben, holding the basket of carrots tightly, approached cautiously. He saw Mr. Turtle watering the plants and hesitantly stepped forward. In a small voice, Ben called out, Mr. Turtle. Mr. Turtle turned around and looked at Ben kindly. Why are you back here? Are you planning to take more carrots? He asked with a playful tone. Ben quickly shook his head. No, sir. I came to return the carrots I took. I'm really sorry for not asking first. I know I did something wrong, Ben said earnestly. Mr. Turtle smiled warmly. Well, I'm glad you've come back to apologize. Mistakes can always be fixed as long as you're truly willing to make things right. Ben nodded eagerly. I also want to make it up to you. I'll replant the carrots I took. Mr. Turtle chuckled. That's a great idea. I'll show you how to plant them properly. Let's do it together. The two got to work right away. Mr. Turtle patiently guided Ben on how to plant the carrots, and Ben followed enthusiastically. Their laughter filled the air, making the garden feel cheerful and lively. As the night fell, the garden glowed gently under the soft light of the moon. The freshly planted rows of carrots stood neatly in place, Ben looked at the garden with pride. From now on, I'll always ask for permission before doing anything. Being honest makes me feel so much lighter and happier, he said, smiling brightly. Mr. Turtle nodded. That's right, Ben. A truthful heart is always cherished by everyone. The video ends here. If you enjoyed it, kids, don't forget to hit subscribe so we can learn together with new videos.